This is the website we are going to be building. You can see this beautiful slider carousel here, which slides on its own. We have this button. If we click here, it takes us to the contact page. If we click on this other button, it takes us to the About Us page. Then right underneath the hero section, we have our contact information, our address, and our work, our opening times, our working hours. Then we have our mobile, social media handles here. They can contact us directly from here. Now you can see this beautiful section giving a brief description, brief history, and then with this guy. Now I'll just run through. We have a few of our services here with this beautiful image on the background. This is our pricing, and then we have this image here. Then we have this gallery. If I filter over any of these images, you see there is this hover effect. Same here too. There is this hover effect. And then this is our footer. You can also see we have this transparent background. If I click on the About Us page, this is our About Us page. It also has this hero section. And then it has this text on both sides with this picture. And you can see the pricing table still here. And these are our team members, which each of them you can connect with them on their social media handles. These are now our services. Same hero section. Now you can see these beautiful SVG images. And then we come to the contact us. These are contact us form. You can click and you can add your information. And then you can submit. And then if I come to the contact us page, same thing here with the Google Maps. Now I'm going to teach you how to design all of these. Everything on this website was designed from scratch. Every aspect of this website is designed from scratch. We didn't use any template from anywhere. I'm also going to teach you how to upload these SVG images. You see, it's not like something you can download. It's an SVG. If I right click, you can't download it. So this is actually a normal image which I just put in, but this is an SVG. So you can download all of this. I'll teach you how to create this kind of list, and I'll teach you how to use this kind of gallery. I'll teach you how to use containers to build all of these layouts and make them very, very mobile friendly. And for this contact page, you are not going to be using any expensive contact form builder. This is all free. So everything you see on this website is built using free tools. The only thing you buy is your hosting. And please get hosting using the link in the description. I'm going to tell you about the hosting providers. So if you're ready to build this website, just comment, I am ready, and let's go. For us to build this website, the first thing we need is web hosting. Web hosting is, put simply, where your website files are going to be sitting. So we need for our website to be sitting on a particular location. So I have two suggestions here. The first one is going to be A2 hosting. You can see they have currently an 84% discount. And if you choose shared hosting here, and you will see the plan start at $1.95 per month. Now, if you have just one website you want to host, then this is going to be a good plan for you. But if you want to host unlimited websites with unlimited SSD storage, then you can choose this 3.95. This is the drive plan, $3.95 per month. And if you want to get even more speed, then you can get 4.95. That is up to 20% faster. And if you want even to be more ambitious, then you can go with the Turbo Max. This is if you have e-commerce products and you want to be hosting videos too. The second one is Hostinger. Hostinger also offers an 84% discount. Mind you, this discount will only apply if you use the links rather, which I provide in the description. And for full disclosure, these are affiliate links. So when you use them to buy, I get a commission. So if you click on claim deal and I just click to choose this plan, you see it brings me to this page. And if I go with the 48-month plan, I come down here, I'll need to create an account. and then it's going to sum up. Instead of $671, it's going to be $191. So I don't know where you are in the world, but this is actually a very, very good deal. So if you choose that, you can click and submit. And the process for choosing your domain name, mind you, Hostinger gives you a free domain name. The process for choosing your domain name is pretty easy. So having created your hosting account and choosing your domain name and having installed WordPress, you are going to be brought to a dashboard like this. So this is where you are going to be brought to. You're going to see a dashboard like this, and you'll probably see welcome to WordPress. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on-screen options, and I want to turn off all of these. I don't want to see all of these. You can leave maybe just your site health status up. I'll close these tabs. Now, the anatomy of a website is that the first thing you need for a website is your theme. You can choose to build without a theme, but it's going to be very helpful for you if you have a theme. Now, let's go step by step. You click here, you see we have this default post, hello world. I'll trash that. You can create a new post, and for media, there's going to be nothing under there because this is a fresh install. And then I come to pages. I have these two default pages, a privacy policy and sample page. I will simply delete them, move them to trash. I don't need them for now. Comments is going to be empty. And then for appearance themes, you see we have this default 2024 WordPress theme. We are going to be installing our own theme shortly. We come to plugins. You see we have this plugin area. There is no plugin there. Now come to settings. And under general, you have the name of your website here. I'm going to say cut Barbers, since we are creating a barbershop website. Cut Barbers, and you can see premium hairstylists. You can choose whatever it is you want to use there, and then you can select your icon, set your icon here. I'm going to just use my logo. I will just use this one. I could use this one, or maybe this one. And if I put it there and set a side logo, I can drag this to choose this particular part, and I can even make it smaller. Unfortunately, it doesn't allow me to do that, so I'm just going to use it this way. And I'll crop that. And that is my icon. You see it here now. If I save this and then I open this in a new page, you now see it here. And that is it even here. So you can change your administrative email, registration, membership. Do you want people to be able to subscribe to your channel, to your website rather? You can choose that. You can choose your date format. You can choose even your language here. Maybe if you're in a different country. Now for permalinks, come to permalinks. And I want you to make this to be post name, and then that is that. We can just save that. So now what we want to do is to come to appearance themes. And when we come to appearance, click on add new. I told you that we are going to be building this website from scratch. Yes, but we are going to be using a theme as the backbone. You always have to use a theme. So we are going to be using a theme as the backbone. I want to use Astra. I'll just click and install Astra. It's installing. Now that is installed, I want to activate it. If you didn't see Astra here, you can just search it. So Astra is now installed and it's asking me to install starter template. Yes. Maybe you're asking yourself, but did this guy not see we are not going to be using any templates? We are going to build it from scratch. Yes. We are going to use a very tiny bit of the Astra template. So click on. It gives you can use the AI website builder. You can also use the classic starter template. What I want to do is to choose the classic starter template. So I'll click on build with template. Now, if I just go directly, I will not be able to do what I want to do. So I need to come back to my dashboard and I want to add a new plugin. I'll come to add new and I want to search for Elementor. And this is what I want to use. Elementor website builder. I'll just click on install now. And I'll activate it. It's a seamless process. You see, if I come here, it's now that Elementor is installed, it shows me Elementor templates. But if I had not installed Elementor, I will not have been able to see Elementor templates. So I'll reload this page because I want to see the templates. Now you see it's going to show us a number of templates they are yet to load, which you can use for free on your website. Up here, I want to select Elementor. I want to select Elementor up here. So if you choose Beaver Builder, it's going to show you Beaver Builder templates. If you choose Block Editor, it's going to show you Block Editor templates. But I want to use Elementor. So it shows me Elementor templates. What I want to look for is I want to use any template. This is just to make our work easier. I want to choose any template here that already has the transparent header background. And you can see this is a good example. This one, I don't know. This is also a good example, but this one is premium. This is also a good example. All of these are good examples. So I will just select this one. And I'm going to click on continue. It's going to load the home page here. And I'm going to click on continue. So you can already upload your logo here if you like, but I'm not going to do that. I want you to see how it is done from scratch. When we import this, I'm going to delete and remove all of these things you see here, and we are going to start from scratch. So continue, skip this step, submit and build my website. It's going to take maybe sometimes up to a minute to get this done. Now it is done and we see that confetti effect. It says view your website. If I click on view my website, it's going to bring me to this page. This is what it looks like. And we can start editing from here. I'm going to click on edit with Elementor. Okay, so this page is loading the Elementor editor. And when it loads, I'm going to delete almost everything. And it says discover new superpowers. I'll say skip. I don't want to use Elementor AI. And I just want to delete now. I'll leave this section for now. I'll delete this one, delete. And it also gives me the media on my website. So if I go to clean that now, I come to media, library. You see, it gives me all of these pictures here, which I don't need. It's your choice. You can choose to delete them. I'll delete these, move these to trash, delete permanently rather. I will delete all of these too. I'll just leave it the way it is. I'm going to finish with that later on. So we want to start by creating our website. The first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to click on Flexbox and choose a Flexbox container. I'll choose this Flexbox container, and inside this container, I'm going to add some elements. So the first thing I want to add in this container is I want to add a slideshow on the background. I'm going to click on the 6 dots. I'm going to come to style. I will come to background type. I'll say slideshow. And then I'm going to select my pictures, which I want to use for my slideshow. I'll come to downloads. And they are going to be inside one of these folders. So I'm just going to choose a picture from this folder. You see barbershop. I want to choose my slider carousel pictures. I'm going to choose this one. And then I'm also going to choose this one. And I'll choose them one by one. By the way, I'll choose this one. Open. So I will insert that to gallery. Then I want to add others here. I want to add to gallery, go back, and then inside here, I'm going to choose another one. Where is that other picture? I think this is it. And then if I select control, I can choose this one too, and this one, and then I'll just insert them. It's going to take time to load. Now I'll add them to gallery. I seem to have chosen the same thing. Let me add to gallery again. There's one prominent picture I'm not seeing here. I think it is this. Now I'm adding it to gallery. I have added those, so I will just insert gallery. You see them loading here. Now, when you look at this, you discover that it's not really showing well. It's not showing clearly. That's because we are yet to increase the padding of this section. So what we want to do is that I want to add an inner container here. I want to add an inner container. I'm going to add this container inside here. And then inside this container, I'm going to add two other containers. Don't worry, it's not going to be a problem for you. So I'm going to first of all drag a heading text. And I want to put it here. So I'm going to put that heading text there. And then now I want to drag another container and put it beneath here. And first of all, the first thing I want to do is that I want to give this main container, I want to give it the direction of horizontal. So I'll give it the direction of horizontal. I'll just delete this first, this heading. And then when I give it direction of horizontal, I want to duplicate this inner container. And the reason is that I want to put some text here. I'm going to put some text here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag this heading text and I'm going to put it here. And I can style this. I can see your style, whatever, or your style, our priority. I'll give it a line breaker, which is this code you see here, our priority. And I'm going to make this, I'm going to edit the text. I'm going to make it white. I'm going to make the text, the font to be, let's say, Titanium Web. It's my latest favorite style. And then I'm going to increase the text to be 100. And the weight, I can make it to be 800. That's too big. Let's say 700. 700. I want to reduce the line height. I want to make it to be, let's say, 100. The line height to be 100. Now, what next I want to do is that I want to give another section inside here. I want to give another section inside here and add a button. So I'm going to duplicate this section. I'm going to delete this other section, this other column. I'm going to delete this text. I want to give this a button. I'm going to drag this button and put it here. Now you see automatically gives me a particular color. That's because this color has been set as the default color on the background. Now I can just publish this. I'll come here. I can just delete all these other images. I'll select all of them except these two. And I want to delete them permanently. So how do I go about fixing this color? I'll come back to the back end of my website and I want to come to customize, go under appearances, look for customize. It loads. When it brings me to this page, I want to go to global colors and then I can change these colors from here. So the first one I want to change is this, and I'm going to paste this particular hex code there. Is a goldish kind of color. And then for this one, I'll paste the same hex code, but I'm going to make it a little bit darker. So that is that. I think I should have used this here instead. I'll copy this and then use it here. Paste. Then here, I want to make it a little bit fainter. So that is that. And I'll click on publish. And then here too, I want the background of the website to be totally, I want it to be black. I want it to be black. The site background, I want it to be black. For now, I'm going to make it black. If I see any need, then I'm going to change it to be white. So I'm going to publish this as it is here. Now, what I have here, let me just reload the page and let's see the effects of all these changes on our website. So you see the effect is not very much. Now that we have this, very soon I'm going to delete this particular part. Now we have this button here. The color has changed. The color has changed. And if I duplicate this button, you see we have two, the button goes under this other one. Now I don't want this yet because I'm here to delete some stuff. I'm here to edit this button. I'll click here and see contact us. Contact us. And I want to come to the style tab. I'm going to add the link to the contact button shortly. And the border radius, I want to turn it off. And if I come back to this customize and I go to go to typography. For the body, I want it to be Ubuntu. For the body, I want it to be Ubuntu. So I'll look for Ubuntu. I will look here for Ubuntu. And it's going to be that. Then for the headings, I want it to be titanium. Titanium. So I'll publish that. If I reload it, you see this text here because it's Noto Sans right now. If I publish and I reload, you see it's going to change. Kind of. Let me reload. So we see the font has changed. The font has changed here. Now what I want to do is that since I have this right now, I can also go ahead and I want to make this internal container here to be horizontal. So if I now duplicate this button, if I duplicate this button, you see it stacks side by side. I want to change the color of this one. I want to make it the background to be black. Background type, I want to make it to be black. So, and the hover text color should be white. And then the hover color for the font, the background color, hover background color should be grayish. So if you hover over it, let me make it the grayish a little bit darker. So that is that. Now the next thing I want to do is that I want to give this some padding and margin, this entire section. I'll click here, come to advanced, and I'll toggle off padding. I'll unlink it. On top, I want to give it 150 or let's say 200. And then bottom, I want to make it 100. If I publish that, I want to check this website now on the front end. Okay, so we see this. This is how our website looks now. But what I want to do is that I want to remove this section and then I want to remove one of these pictures too. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to delete this section and also going to, now let's look at this. I'm also going to change one of these pictures or just remove it all together, I'll come back to style. I'll click here on edit. And this is the one I want to remove. I want to remove this one. And let's say insert into gallery. I publish. And I'll reload now. So you now see we have these pictures and this is stretched across the website. We can also choose to come here. I'll click still on this main container. I'll come to style. I'll come to the style tab and I want to choose, look for background overlay. Background type should be color and it should be black, but I want to reduce the opacity, not very dark. Let it be 0.3 or 0.25. So that is that. I can even make it 0.15 because I want those pictures to be visible. Now the pictures are very, very clearly visible. So with the exception of this one, which is too black on this black background, first thing first, I want to see learn more on this button. I'll come back to the style and I want the background color to not be too black. I want it to not be too black, something of this sort. I'm going to leave it there. Now I want to add another section just beneath this. I want to add another section just beneath this. So I'm going to click here and the flex box, and then I'm going to choose this. I'm going to choose this. First things first, I want this container to be full width. I want it to be full width. Then I want to come and add a container inside here. I'll add that container inside there. And I need to set this main container to be direction horizontal. So I want to add some elements. The thing I want to do is that I want to add some containers. I want to add some containers here. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this. And so we have two equal containers here. But on this side, I want it to be, let's say 40%. So I want this container to be 40%. The width, I'll put it in percentage. And I want it to be 40%. Not 40%, but let's say 80%. I want it to be 80%. So this one is going to take the rest of the container. So this should be also in pixels, in percentage rather. And I want it to be 100. If I now come to this side of the container, I want to add some elements in here. And I want to add icon boxes. I want to look for icon. This icon box, I'll put it here. So this is the one I'm going to use. And I will come to the style and I'm going to toggle it this way to be left. And then here, I want to add some stuff. The first thing I want to look for is an icon and I'll see phone. So I want to use this phone icon. I'll insert it there. And then I want to change the text here. I want to change the text here. I'm going to paste some text here. I'll remove this phone number, cut it, and then I'll put it here on the heading section. Then I want to remove that. So I will change this color to be the color we have here. So I'll come to customize. I want to pick this color. I'll just pick it. I'll just go back. Colors. I'll go back here. I'll copy. And I want to paste this color here. So I'll come to style. And when it comes to icon, I want the primary color to be that which I pasted. So that is that. Then for the content, I want everything to be white. Since it's on the black background, I also want this to be white. This is also on the black background. So that is that. If I come here I want to see if I can stack this on 2 lines. If I can stack this on 2 lines, if I use a line breaker, it works there. So it stacks it on 2 lines. So we see the default font there. And I also want to do some adjustments here. The icon spacing, I think it's okay. For me, it's okay. Content spacing, I want to remove this. I want to make this maybe 5. I think 5 or not. Yes, 5 is not bad. And then the content, I want to adjust the size of this header. This header is supposed to be titanium. So if I want to adjust the size of the icon, rather, the icon size, I'll make it, let's say 25. Okay, so this is this. I will duplicate this. I'll reduce the size of that title. It's too big. I'll make it, let's say 20. 20 is good. Now, what I will do is I will duplicate this. Don't worry about the fact that they are stacked on each other. So I'm going to copy some text and I want to add it here. And I'll see the location, the address is 22898 Cover Street. And I'll remove this and I'll put a line breaker like we did there. I'll also duplicate this. Now here, I want to put something like a location icon. Location. Or let's say map. Yes, this is what I want to use. I'll insert that there. I will duplicate this now. And I want to add our timing. That's like our work schedule here. And I'll see daily um 8 a.m. or 8 to 10 p.m. Maybe these people, they open at 8 a.m. and they close at 10 p.m. I'll just say 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. So that is that. I'll remove this, I'll paste some text here. And you see Sundays we are closed, Saturday. So that is that. Now, all of these are stacked next to each other, so it doesn't really give us the effect that we want. And so they are stacked on top of each other rather. So inside this container, this inner container, I'm going to click here. I'm going to click on this inner container, and then I want to give it a direction of horizontal. So you see, we have this horizontal layout for these items right now. And I can also choose to justify content, justify them. The effect is going to be minimal here because we already have this. Now for this one, I'm going to change the icon. I will look for clock. So I can choose this one. So that is our clock there. Now on this side, I want to add our social icons. On this side, I want to add our social icons. So what I'm going to do is that I want to give this site and this entire site a background. I want to use this color here. I want to use this color. I'll copy this. I want to use our color here. I'll come to style, background type, color. I'll paste that there. So all of this should be this color. And I want to add our social icons here. So I'm going to come, I'll look for icon, and these are social icons. I'm going to add them inside here. Now, I want Facebook, Twitter, which is X. Maybe I want Instagram. I also want TikTok and LinkedIn. So I'll duplicate this. I'm going to look for TikTok. Now I'm going to all icons. TikTok. And I'm going to look for LinkedIn. Maybe these are professionals and they have LinkedIn profiles too. LinkedIn. You can use any of them. I prefer to use this. So I will start with Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X. I'll look for X. It's now X, no longer Twitter. So this is it. But that is not how we want it to be. So we'll first of all look for the colors. We'll say we want custom colors, and the primary color should be white. No, the primary color should be, first of all, the corners, the shape should be circle. So the primary color, I want the primary color to be the hex code which copied. It seems like I did that only for this one. Color, custom, primary color should be that. So I'm going to do this. I should have done this before duplicating. I'm going to do this to custom. Primary color should be this. Facebook, the same thing. Color, custom, primary color, that. And then LinkedIn, the same thing. Custom, primary color should be this. So if I come to style, I can leave them, their sizes the way they are. But let me just come to this particular column. I'll click on that column and then I'll come to layout. I want to justify this in the middle. So as I justify that, you see, I could choose to space them out a little bit. I could choose to space them out. Let me first of all give this a horizontal direction. So I can choose to space them out. So you see when I click, the spacing changes and even the alignment. So if I turn this off and I justify, you see it changes. I'll just make this to be in the center. So I'm going to leave this the way it is. Now, what I want to do is that for this particular outer container, this entire outer container, which we have here, I want to make it to be without any gap spacings. So this particular primary container, I'll click on it and then I'll come here, I'll remove the spacing. And I'm also going to remove the padding. So you see it flushes here. It flushes these two, they flush to the ends. Now, but what I want to do is that if I come to the layout now, you can choose, I can choose to give these some padding, and I'm going to make that, I want to give it all round padding. Actually, I'll give it top padding of, let's say, 70. No, it should not be that. I'm going to give each of these containers their individual paddings and they should be the same. So I'll give this one all round padding of 30 and this one to 30. So this one automatically takes that 30, but for the sake of the mobile layout, I'll add it there, 30. So we see this is this. If I should publish this and preview this now on the front end, I'll reload this. So this is how our website looks for now. This is how our website looks. I'm thinking that I chose the lighter shade here. I'll come back here and I want to choose this particular one instead. This particular color instead. I'll come to style, background. I'll paste this here. So that is that. Now I want to customize this. I want to make this to be a bit darker. I want this color to be a bit darker. I'll click on enter. Let me use my mouse. I want this to be a bit darker. I don't want it to be too light. That is that. I will change it till it's satisfactory. Okay. And that is that. So I will save. If I reload this, I don't see any change, but I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to check that shortly. I see the effect here. I see the effect here, but not here. So this is what I want, this particular shade of gold. If I choose this hex code here, I copy this and I want to use it here instead. Let me paste what I have here. Good. I'm now going to have to change these colors here, the background colors here. I'll leave them like that for now. But let's go ahead with the building of the. Next, I want to add a section. I'm going to add a flex box, and I'm going to add a single container. Then inside here, I'm going to add a container. I choose to do it. I can just click directly here and choose these two containers, but I want to have more control over what I'm doing. So I'm going to put an image inside here. The first thing I want to do is that I want to make this particular outer container, I want it to be aligned horizontally, so that now when I duplicate this, they are on both sides. So I want to add an image background here. I want to add an image background here. You can add it just as an image, but I prefer to do it as an image background. It gives it more, it gives me more control, like I said. And I want to select a picture, a particular picture, and put there. I'm going to select this one. I'll insert it here. It is not very apparent now. So inside here, I want to add some elements. First thing I want to do is that I want to add a text, a heading, a small heading, and it's going to say about us. And I want to pick this hex code here. I want to give it this hex code, this color. And I want it to be smaller. I want it to be maybe 16. Or let's just make it 18. Next, I want to add another heading. I want to add another heading underneath. And I want to let it say something like this. Paste. And I'm going to change the color to white. And I'll increase the size of the text. Under that, I want to give some text. I'm just going to use some lorem ipsum text. So I'm going to drag the text widget here. I'm going to paste this text inside, and I want it to be not totally white, but something clearly visible. Now, under here, I want to duplicate this container. I can just choose to drag this container, another container, and put it there, but sometimes it may not be aligned. You see, it glitches sometimes. Anyway, it works now. It works pretty well now. Now, inside this container, I want to make this container to be, horizontally aligned. If I look for something like a text box, this will not really give me what I want, because I want to give some heading here. I want to give a heading, and also I want to give it some text. That's a heading and text like you see here, but it should all be one. If I choose to align this entire column horizontal, you see it squashes the text. I don't want that. So I'll add another container. Now look at this. This is a pairing container. This is the secondary container. This is the tertiary container. I'm going to add the quaternary container inside here. Don't quote me, those are my own terms. Elementor did not call them quaternary containers. So first things first, I want to add the text, the heading. I want to add the heading. And underneath this heading, I'm going to add some text. So I'll copy the heading. You can't see where I'm copying from, but no, don't mind. I'm going to say since 1998 or since 1994. And then I want it to be white. And then I want to add the text underneath here. And I'm going to paste this text here. I'm going to paste this text here. I can also change it to be kind of whitish. Okay, so now what I can do is I can edit this heading. I want to make it smaller. Something of this sort. And then I want to duplicate this container now. I want to duplicate it. You see, they are both stacked on each other. So I'll come to this tertiary container and I want the direction to be horizontal. So you see this, and I want to see more than 4,000 plus clients. So maybe they are the best in the city clients. So this is this. I'm already beginning to see that there is an issue with the image here, and that's because of this text. So what I can do is I can reduce the size of this text. I'll reduce the size. I'll reduce even the line height. Let me make it 14. I'll reduce the line height to 24. I'll copy this. I'll paste, style, and reduce the line height. So I also want to reduce the line height of this text up here so that it doesn't break. So this is this. I'll publish this, and if I preview this, so I want to come to this picture on the background, and I want to set the position to be center as it is, and then repeat, no repeat. So it will find a way to align itself. So you will not see this thing breaking here anymore. So you see, it finds a way to fit itself inside this container. So our website is beginning to take shape. Now here I see that there is a need for me to increase the paddings here. So I'll come here. Where am I? Okay, here I am. I'll come here and I'll increase this to 50. And I'll also make this 50. And if I publish, and now if I reload, you see it gives it more breathing space here. We can make it even more, we can make it even bigger, but let's just leave it at this rate for now. The next thing we want to do is that we want to add a section with our services. We want to add a section with our services. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click here and add a flex box, a container. And in this container, the first thing I want to do is that I want to add another container. Now, containers should become your best friend. I've been seeing this in all my tutorials. Containers should become your best friend. They are very, very flexible. And I'll add a heading. I'll put that heading text there. Come to style, align it center, change it to white. And I want this to be, the transform should be uppercase and the font family default. And I want our services to let it be 60. So I'm going to reduce that. I'm going to reduce that 60. I'm also going to add some text underneath here, a text editor. So I'm going to paste some text here. I'll paste this here. I'll come to style. I want it to be aligned center. I want to change the text to be white. Now, I don't know why there's that space beneath there. So this should be aligned center, but I don't want the text, all of these to be on the same line. So I'm going to give it a line breaker. The line breaker doesn't work here, so I'm simply going to give it some padding. That's padding on the left and right here, which is going to squash the text. So right, I'm going to make it 200. Left, I'm going to make it 200. I can even make this 300 and 300. So we see that there. The next thing I want to do is that I want to add another container beneath here. I want to add another container beneath here. And in this container, I'm going to add an icon box. I'm going to add another icon box. So this, I'm going to add it inside here. And here you notice this, you can upload SVG icons. What I want to go do now is to go to a website called flaticon.com. And I'm just going to come here and log in. Now that I'm logged in, I want to search for Barber. If I search for Barber, you see it's going to give me quite a number of, quite a number of icons here related to a barber. And this is actually what we want. This is actually what we want. You can see we have all of these here. You can choose whatever it is you desire. Now, I'm going to choose this one. Where is that? I'm going to choose this one. I'll open it in new tab. I'm going to choose some other one. I can choose this one, open it in a new tab. And then, which other one? I could choose this one. Let me look for hair dryer. Hair dryer. So this is a hair dryer. I'll open it in a new tab. Now, when I come to this one, I want to click on edit icon. Here, we can edit it using our own colors. So I'm going to pick this color here. This color. I'll just copy this. And I want to edit this and use this color. I'll paste it here. So you see, it gives it this color. And then I'm going to download. If you want to download as SVG, I think that is a pro feature. You need to be a premium user. I'm just going to download PNG first. And then here, I'm also going to edit this. Use our colors. and then I'll download this. I will do the same here. So I've downloaded that. So if I come to the back or the my manager, my file manager, I have these three here. So let's just look for one for the purpose of clarity, and I'll see Barber scissors. Did I spell scissors well? So it's going to search for this. I want to look for scissors and comb together. Okay, yes, I'm going to use this one. I'll edit it. I'll put our picture, our code. I'll just paste it there, and I'll download this 512 by 512. Now, I want to come to Google, and I want to search for PNG to SVG online. I'll open that, and this is it. So come down here, I'll choose my files. I don't know if I can choose all my files at once. No, I can't choose them at once. I'm going to choose them. I have to choose them one after the other. And click on generate. It's a free tool, but you can gift them some money if you want. I'll download that. I'll do the same for this one. Generate. And the tool is pretty fast as long as your image is not heavy. I'll look for another one. Generate. Download SVG. And another one. Generate. And I'll download. So we have SVGs now, which we can upload. So these are them. Here they are. You will not see them here. You can't have a preview of them, but when we upload them, you are going to see. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to come back to the dashboard of my website. I'll just close this out, these many pages. And I want to come back to my editor board. And I want to upload an SVG here. No, I'll close this, not this. I'll upload SVG, and it says enable. Yes, I'll enable. I want to select and upload all of them. Upload all of them. It seems just one of them uploaded. And this is actually not the one I wanted. Okay, they are all uploading. So if I close this, let me go now to upload SVG. I'll use this one. So you see, you can't upload a PNG there, but you can upload an SVG. So I want to give the first topic, and it's going to say hairstyling. And it's going to have some text. I'll come to style. So for this view, you can make it to be stacked. You can make it to be circled, stacked, framed. That's like a circle. And then you will be able to change the frame color. And you can make it shaped square or circle. So that is all up to you. I'll come to style. Icon spacing. You can reduce for the alignment. First of all, let's make it center. And let's change the color of the content before we can see what we are doing. I'll make this white, text white, and also this white. So for the text typography, I want to increase it. And I want to make it to be, 35. That's for the heading, for the text. I can also increase it. I will increase it to be something like 18. Now, since we are working with something like a text box, the first thing I want to do is that I want to come to the icon. I want to come to the icon that's under content, and I want to remove the frame. I want it to be default. Then, if I come back to style, you can reduce the content spacing to maybe 10. You can reduce the content spacing to 10. You come back to content, we can leave it that way. And the background should be black. Of course, black is our default. So what we can now do is that we can duplicate this. Before then, I've not increased the size of the icon. The size of the icon, it should be 120. And here should also be 120. 120. 120. And if I duplicate this, I can choose another SVG icon. Okay, yes, I can choose this one. And if I duplicate this again, what I was supposed to duplicate is this and not the entire section. So I'll delete this column, which is duplicated here. I'll duplicate this now again. I'll change this. I'll look for what is uploaded, media library. I'll add that. I want to add another icon. This is not supposed to be showing. It should show me the next. I'll just upload the other one. Let me see what this is. Unfortunately, I don't recognize all of them. I did not name them. I'll go back. Okay, so I'm going to use this here. So these are the three that I have. I'm just going to change the text shortly, but I want to give this container, I want to make this container to be horizontally aligned. So when I do that, that is what happens. So it's horizontally aligned. All of these items now, they are showing in alignment on the same line. Now, but what we want to do is that we want to give each of these a good padding, a good amount of padding. I could make this like 30. So the padding is 30. I'll copy the style and paste it here. I'll also just change this text here. I'll paste this here. It should be hair color. And then I'll copy the text and paste it here. And then this. I made a mistake, but I'm just going to go ahead. Beard trimming. and I'll paste the text there. So that is that for this section. But I'm not satisfied with this section the way it is. There is something I want to do here. I want to come to the background of this section. Now, what I'm already noticing is that I will need to reduce the font size of this text here, this content. I will make it to be 16. Content is going to be 16. And the line height, I want to make it to be something like 24. I'll make it 22. So if I copy style and I paste the style here, and I also paste the style here. So that is that. Now, what I want to do is I want to give a background image here. I want to give a background image here. So I'll come to this entire section. Come to style, background type. I want it to be an image. So I'm going to come and upload an image from my computer. I've uploaded a picture from my computer. What I need to do is to give it, you see, it already makes everything transparent. I'm going to work on that. I'm going to come to the background overlay for this entire section. I want to make it black. And I want to increase the opacity of the black to maybe 0.7 or thereof. And then I'm going to click on this and I want to change the background color. That's the content area. I want to change the background color. To change the background color, just click here, come to advanced, and then where you see background, click there, and then we want to make this to be black. We want to make this black, and then I will copy style, paste style here, and I'll also paste style here. So you see we have the background and it is black. Now it's not very visible here, so I want this this background image. I want it, the overlay, I want to reduce the overlay so that this is more visible. I'll make it maybe 0.6. You can have it that way. And then I want to increase the top padding, the top and bottom padding. I want the top padding, or I'll just give it 30 all round. 30 all round, or we can just make it 40 all round. And that is that. And then I'll unlink this. And then the top should be 60 or 80. Let me give 80. It gives it more beauty. And then bottom should be 80. So you see it brings out the beauty. I can just make this 100. If I preview this on the front of my website, you see what we have here. I think I'm liking the size of this, the look and feel of it. I'm liking the look and feel of it. We can increase the padding inside here, inside these boxes. So I'll just click here and I'll make the padding all around to be 40. And I'll copy and paste style and paste style. If I now preview this, it's looking a lot better. So we are getting to the juicy part of our website. Next thing we want to do is that I want to add our pricing plan. So we are going to come and add another flex box. I'll add a container, and then I want to add another container inside. And As usual, I'm going to make this flex box to be horizontally facing. I'm going to duplicate this. And then on this side, I want to add a heading. I'll add a heading here. I'll just copy this style. I'll copy this and paste it here. I'll paste. I'll delete this. And then I'm going to copy this heading too. And I'm also going to paste it here. So first I'm going to say pricing plans. And then I'm going to put a heading here. I'll paste that there. So what I want to do now is I want to add a list of prices here. I want to add a pricing list here. Instead of a text editor there or any other thing like that, what I want to do is I want to drag a container inside here. And in this container, I'm going to drag a heading. And I'm going to put some text inside the heading. And it's going to be this. I'll paste that there. And I want to make it white. And I want to reduce the size. I want to reduce the size to be something like, let's say, 25. And then I'm going to duplicate this. I'll duplicate that. And I want to add the price here instead. And then I want to copy this hex code here. I'll copy this. And then I'm going to put this here. So for me to align this, I simply just need to do what we've been saying the whole time. This inner container, I'm going to give it direction of horizontal. And then I want the content to be space between. So this is that. And then for the other price items, I'll just duplicate this. I'll just duplicate this. Now, first thing I want to do is that I want to take off all padding here so that it flushes. And same thing here. I will take off all padding. And here, even all margin here too. So that is that. And we can fill in the other prices, the other items. Can fill in the other items. I'll duplicate this. Paste that there. The fourth one is hair dyeing. I'll paste that. The fourth one is mustache. I'll paste that. And the fifth one is stacking. Duplicate. I'll paste that there. Now, I could have put all of this inside the container. It would have helped me to maybe reduce the line spacing or things like that. So you can choose the prices here. You can choose this. Let's say this one is 25. You can make this one to be hair dyeing, let's say 49. Change the prices to whatever you want. Here, I want to add a picture. I want to add a picture here. Now, mind you, the background of this, I want it to be a bit fainter. So background type, I'm going to make it, let's say I'm going to make it a bit fainter. And I want to give this a padding. all-round padding of, let's say, 50. I want to make this background let me leave it this way, and then I want to put an image here. First things first, yes, I'll put an image here first on the background. I'll put an image. I'll choose an image from my files, from my computer. Which image can I use? I'm going to use this particular one. I'm going to use this one. I'll select that and I'm going to add it there. Now, what I want to do is that for this entire section, I want to come and remove any form of gaps. So they flush on each other. And here I want to turn off the padding too. I want to turn off the padding. So you see the flush on each other. And I want to align the picture here to be centered. What I can also do is that if I added all of this in a container, I can reduce the prices of the sizes of these prices so that I have more space, let's say 22. And this should also be 22. So I'll copy this, copy style, paste style, paste style, paste style, paste style, and paste style. I'll copy, paste style, paste style, paste style, same thing here, and same thing here. And then I'm going to align this picture to be in the center. Position center, center. So let me save that and come to the front end of my website. So if I check it, I think it's looking quite good. One thing I want to do is that I want to give this a top margin. I want to give it a top margin of, let's say, 80, not 800, but 80. I can even make it 100. And I'll save that. Next, I want to give a gallery. I want to put a gallery here. So what I'll do is that I'm going to add another flex box. I'm going to add this. And I want to make this, I'll give this first of all top margin of 80 or 100. And then I want to make this flex box to be full width. I want to make it to be full width. Then I want to add an image here. I'll just select the images and add. I could add these first of all of these that are the same size. Where is the other one? I'll add this, and maybe that. So I'll add these ones here. While they load, so I'll insert this one first. I will duplicate, and then I'll change it to the next. I'll duplicate. I'll add it to this. I'll add this rather. I will duplicate. And then I'm going to add this guy. So what I want to do is I want to make this direction. Actually, I made a mistake, but I can just go ahead with it like this. I want to give this a direction of horizontal. and I want to remove all spaces, and I want to come to padding. I want to turn it off. So for each of these, I was supposed to do this. We can make it that when this is clicked, it goes to a particular place by including a link. But I want to just give it a hover, a hover effect. So for the hover opacity, I'm just going to make it 0.4. So if they hover over it, let's see. So if they hover over it, we get this effect here. Let me reduce that to 0.6. So when they hover over this image, you get this effect. I will copy, paste style. You see the same here. Paste style. Paste style. And I'll duplicate this. First of all, I want to remove the top margin there. And first thing I want to add, I'm going to add some images. All these square images you see here, I'm going to add them here. They are loading. So now that they are loaded, I will add them one by one. I will add this one too. Next, this. And finally, this one. So you see we have this gallery here. No, this one may not really belong here. Let me check if I can add another picture in the place of that. The next thing I want to do is that I want to add some other pages to this website. I'm going to have to delete some of these pages. I will delete this. I will trash this. Anyways, we can just use this. We can just use this. I'm not connected to the internet. Let me connect. So now that I'm reconnected to the internet, the page is reloading. And I want to look at what is on this services page. I'll view this. And it shows us this. I'll just go ahead and delete. I'll edit it with Elementor, and I'm going to delete everything that is on it and start everything from fresh. So I'll delete this. I'll start from under, begin to delete this, delete. And for this, since I promised to be building everything from scratch, let me just start from scratch. And then behind here, at the back of this container, I want to add an image. So I'll come to style, background. I want to add an image. If I come to my computer, come to Barbershop, I could use any of these images. I could use this one. I could use this one. I think this is going to be a good one for me to use. Let's just say this one. So I'm using this one. And I'll insert that there. But for this one, I think we've already used this picture. So let me see if there is another one we can use. You know, the good thing about my tutorials is that they are not over rehearsed. Most of what I teach you here, I just start doing it when I started the tutorial. So you can see that one is loading. So I'll insert that. It's going to show very shortly. Now, what I want to do is that I want to add a header inside here, I'm going to click on plus. I'll bring this here and I'll say services. And I'm going to align this center. I'll make this white. And I want to increase the size. Let it be, let's say, 70. And I want it to be 700. And I want to drag a text editor down here and see view a cross section of our services. I'll align this center. I'll make this wide. So if I come here, I hope there's no space. What I want to do now is that I want to give this a background overlay. The background overlay of black is going to be black. And then I can increase the opacity, let's say to minus 0.6. And then for this entire column, I want to remove these spacings. And then you could give it a minimum height, but it's really not going to align the items the way I want. Anyway, let me give it a minimum height of, let's say, 400. I could use 350. Let's just say 400. And here I want these items to be centrally located. So I'll put it this way. And for the background overlay, or for the image itself, when I come to position, I want it to be center. I want the repeat, no repeat. Size should be cover. So we see that there. I still feel we should give it some more overlay. Let's increase the opacity. So I'll leave it at 0.65. So now I will delete this part up here and I'll publish this. And I'm going to say, I want to add a container here. And I want to make it this. Then inside this container, I will just copy this heading, copy and paste it here. And I'll see what we offer. What we offer. I want to change this. And I want to copy this and paste it here too. And I want to put some text inside. I'll paste this text there. So I'm going to leave it as it is. And at the same time, I could make this text to be padding right 300, left 300. So the next thing I want to do is that I want to copy this from the front, the home page. I want to copy this from the home page here. I'll copy this. And when I come here, I'm going to add a container. And then I'm going to add another container inside. Then inside here, I'm going to paste that. So I'll paste that. If I duplicate this, we have this. So what do we have here? I'm going to change some of these. I'll write here, I'll say beard care. And then I want to change the SVG image. I'll go to my downloads folder. I have some new icons. New icons somehow. Okay. I'll insert this. I'll insert that. Okay, I hope the image is I hope the color codes are the same. I'll make this capital letter, I'll copy another one and use it here. And then I can change this SVG image. I can use this one, or let's just say this one. And then I want to use, I'll just insert this here. And for this, I want to use another SVG image, insert that there, insert this, and I want this to say shaving. So that is that for this section. So these are our services. These are our services. And here, we could just go ahead and add a form so that somebody may want to just book directly from here. So I'll come to the back end of my website, and I'm going to click on add new plugins, the plugin section. I want to look for one called Met Form. Just activate it right now. Now we have Met Form here. You see it on the side here. Where is it? Here it is. No, this is WP Forms. Okay, here is Met Form. If I click on Forms, it's going to bring me to this onboarding screen. I'll come back. I don't want to share any information. Next. 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 And it says congratulations. What I need to do now is simply to come back here and go to Forms, go back to Forms. And I want to add new. And it gives me quite a number of forms I can use. You can preview them. I can demo it. Click on demo. It's going to take you to their website. Sometimes when it redirects you, it doesn't really show you much, but you can see this here. This is what it's going to look like. So we can use this one, and I'll click on it, and I'll click on edit form rather. It's going to load the Elementor builder. And when it finishes loading, you are going to see the form that you can customize it as much as you want. So you see, it already takes the background of our website. So I want to delete this here. You may not see it very clearly. I'll delete this. And here, I want to change the color of this text up here, of the label. I want to make it to be white. I've chosen that, white, and I'll bring this away from here. Now, I don't want these forms to be rounded on the corner. I want it to be square. So I'm going to turn off the border radius. So if I come to style and the padding, I'm going to turn that off. I will turn off the padding. Then they come to the input. You see where it says border width. I want to remove that. I want it to be sharp. Actually, I'm supposed to make it 0. So the borders will be sharp. Border radius, No, actually, I'll make this to be 1, and then the border radius, I'm going to make it 0. But for these borders, I want to give them this color. I want them to have this color, which we have used all over our website. So I can just pick the color code from here. That will be the color of our borders. And where were we? Made form. So the border color is going to be this. I'm going to paste it there. And then the border background, that's the form background color. It should be black. I can increase the border width here, so it increases all around. And I also want to remove the labels. I will turn off the label. I'll hide label. And then placeholder, I'll see first name, You can come to settings. Yes, this should be required. So we'll just leave that. We'll not toggle with that. Let's come back to, we'll come back to the style tab. And then for the placeholder, we want to make it white. Color of we can change the typography of the placeholder. I'll just make it white. So that is going to be that. I'll copy this style and paste it here. I'll paste style there, paste style here, paste style. I'm also going to paste style here, even though it's a little bit different. What I simply need to do is to turn off the label here, turn off the label here, turn off the label here, turn off the label here. And then here, I'm going to change the content of this. I'll just see last name. Here, I will see email, just email. And here we'll just see, I will leave that there. So when you click on this or somebody wants to type, you can see it gives you this color. We can go ahead and change that there, so that if somebody is typing, it's going to be a bit different. So we are going to input color background type. Let me see this. I think this should be where that is found. Input color background type. So we made this to be black. It appears made form really doesn't give us the ability to do that. So placeholder color. If I change the placeholder, and we'll just leave it the way it is. But for the other items, like how to change this so that when somebody clicks on it to type, this background becomes, it remains black. You cannot do that with made form free. You have to upgrade to the Pro version. So for this send message, I will leave the text the way it is. I want you to come to the background color, and I want to make it that gold. No, that is not it. Let me copy this again. I'll make it that gold. This should be forms. I'll make it this gold. And then I'll come to style. We are actually on style. The borders, I don't want any border radius. So I'm going to make this 0. Should be sharp edges. And then I'll publish, I'll update, and I'll close. it now gives me this shortcode here. I'll copy the shortcode. I'll come to this page. I'll look for shortcode. I'll drop it here. I'll paste it right here. Now, you may not see it here, but it will preview this page. On the front end, you will see it there. So this is this. And this is our form. You can see it looking very beautiful. I notice here we need to give some space. First thing first, I'll reduce the size of this text. I'll make it 60. Then I'm going to give a top padding to this section. I'm going to make it 100. I'll reduce the size of this text too. I'll make it 15. And if I publish that and I come to the front end, you see this is what we have. So I'm just going to put a heading here, a nice little heading here that says contact us. I'm going to put it on top of here. So I want to do that. I'll just copy this. I'll add a section. On top of here, I'll paste that contact there. I'll say contact us. Contact us. And I'm going to reduce the size to 50. I'll give it a top margin of 100. And then if I reload this page, so this is how it looks on the front end. But now we discover that everything here is just, we don't see any delimiters, like any borders. So I want to give each of these a border color. I want to give each of these a border. So I'll click here. I'll come to style. For the box. And then I'll come to content. If I come to content, I really don't see where I can do that, where I can give each of these separate, give each of them a border color. Where am I missing it? I'll come here, primary color. If I change this, I don't see any change there. Oh, I remember, like we did with the last one, we can give this a background. We can give it a border here. So the border type, so you need to come to advanced and then come down to border. So click on click here, come to the advanced tab, come to border. Border type should be solid. And then border width 1. Then you can choose this color. I'll still choose it from here. I will now come and paste that color here. I'll paste it here. So if I look at this now, you see we have this little line. And if I copy and I paste style, I paste style, paste style, paste style, and paste style. If I publish that now, let's look at this on the front end. So you see each of these is in its own box, and that is that for the contact page, for the services page rather. Now we need to do the About Us page. I'll come back to my back end. I'll go to pages, all pages, and I see About Us here. Let me view it, what this Astra team gave us. I want to edit this and remove everything. So I'll click on edit. And it's going to load. And now I'm going to remove these two. What I want to do is that I want to edit. I want to copy this here. I'll just copy this section, and paste it here. So I'm going to see About Us, all caps, About Us. I can also change the picture behind. I'll look for another picture among my pictures. And which one can I use? I could use this one. It's loading. I'll just insert this here. I'll insert this one here. So this is our About Us page. Now I want to add a column here. And that's a Flexbox container. I want to add a container inside. And for this container, I want to give it some heading. I will give it some heading here. And I'm going to paste this heading inside. I'm also going to give it some text. So I'm going to copy that and paste it here. Drag that rather, and then paste this text inside. Let me come back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a line breaker here. And I'll click on edit, style, text color, white. And then for the style, the typography, I want to make it to be a bit bigger, actually way bigger. I'll make it about 60. I don't know if 60 is going to be okay. Let's just say 60. We can always reduce it. And then transform should be, I will just say capitalize. Here, I'm going to make it white. And I want to add a button under. I want to add a button under. So under this, I'm just going to say contact. And I want to do the same thing I did for the other one. For this button, text color, it's like the text did not change, the text here. No, I put that text on the link instead. I'll paste that there. So I want to come to the style tab for the button. Border radius, I want to turn it off. So I'll leave it this way. Next thing I want to do is that I want to make this, no, sorry, I didn't want to duplicate that. That's a mistake. I'll delete that. So what I want to do is I want to make this entire section horizontal facing. So if I duplicate this column, I can also duplicate this column. And inside here, I want to make this text to face the other direction. So I'm going to click on this text, and I'll come to style tab. I'll make this face right, but I want to change the text there. So I'm going to paste something there, something else there. And I want to paste some other text there too. I'll paste this here. I don't know why the text is. is facing this direction. Let me see. I'll copy this. For some weird reason, let me delete this. And I'm going to copy text again, bring a text editor and paste this here. I don't know why. You know what? Oh, I remove all of that there. I paste the text again. Let me go to text. I see too many divs. I don't know why. For some weird reason, the text keeps coming this way. I see all of these things here. Let me go to pre-formatted and then go back to paragraph. You know what? I'm just going to drag whatever the text editor here gives me. Now I drag the heading instead. I'm going to drag a text editor widget. I'm just going to leave that text there the way it is. I'll delete this. I'll delete this. And then come to style, make it face this section too. I don't need a button here. Inside here, inside here, I want to add an image. Inside here, I can add the image as a background. Go to style. I will select an image from my website. I want to go to my file manager and I want to look for a picture that is befitting. I could use this one. I could use this man. I think I'll use this man. I would have preferred a square picture. This guy has been used too much, but I think we can still use him. So I'll insert that. No, I think let's use this guy. And we'll come to position. It should be center. Alignment. I'll leave it default. Repeat. No repeat. Display size. Cover. So we see him here. We see this gentleman here. What we want to do next is that we want to give this a border. So I'll click here, come to style, and then under border, choose border type solid. And then I want to give it this color. I may not be able to pick that color from here. Now, let me just delete this. And by the way, let's increase the background overlay for this picture because it's a very bright picture. So I'll increase the background overlay to around 70. Then I want to pick our favorite color, which we are using. I'll copy this and I want to come back here, click here, go to the borders, border type, and the border color. I want to make it this. And the width should be 2. Border width should be 2. Now, border radius, I want to make this 300. So you see, it gives you this nice outline. I'll make it 5. Now, background overlay for this picture, we could make it dark. That's a background overlay, but we could reduce the opacity of the overlay a little bit. So I'll leave it at that, but you can see the picture there. If you have a picture that is darker, I think it's going to be better here. Let's see if there is another picture that is darker. I think the only other one The only other one is this. And it's good. But I just felt that we had used this picture too much. So if we publish that, remember, this is the About Us page. Then we can also add our pricing table there. So I'll just copy here. I'll copy and place it here. Where were we? Here we are. I'll place this here. So I paste that here. I also now want to add our team members. I want to add our team members here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click and add a flex box. I'll add a container inside. I'll add a container inside. And then inside this container, I want to add another container. This is just to be safe. I like to do my own things in a certain kind of way. So this inner container, I'm going to give it a border. I'm going to give it a border, and the border is going to be solid, and it's going to be 2. I'm also now still going to come and copy this code from here, this hex code. I'll copy that. Maybe I should close some of these pages. So I want the color to be this. So we can see it here. It may not be very visible, but it's there. I want to add an image widget here. I could add an image widget here. Image. So you now see the outline. And under this image, I'll add a heading. And then I will just duplicate this heading. First here, I'm going to see John Max. This is going to be the name for one of our people. And then here, I'm going to see stylist. This guy is a stylist. And here I'm going to style it. I'm going to make this to be white too, but it's going to be smaller. And it's going to be 400. We could make it 300 even. Anyway, it doesn't even change much. Now I want to change the image here. I want to change the image. So I'm going to use some of these guys, these barbers. I will use this first one, Team 01. I'll insert that there. So this is this guy's profile. He's one of our barbers. I can also drag our social media icons and put them here. And I want to delete this. I want to make it custom. Primary color should be our main color. Or rather, the secondary color should be our main color. I'll paste that there. Primary color should be black. So this is this. If I now duplicate this, I'll look for Instagram. I'll duplicate this again. I'll look for TikTok. And if I duplicate this now, I'll look for LinkedIn. Maybe these guys are pretty serious. So they have all of these. Now, what I want to do is that I want to give this section a direction, this entire section, a direction of horizontal, so that if I duplicate this now, no, that's not quite what I want. What was supposed to be horizontal is not this entire section, but a column, but this primary column. So when I do that, okay, so these social media icons fell under, they did not fall inside this. I will drag this and put it back here. So it's now under. If I now duplicate this column, I duplicate this, I duplicate it again, and I duplicate it again. You can see. Now, one thing we want to do is that if I click here, I want all of these columns, I want to remove this. I want all of this to be centered. This should also be centered. So if I come here, I want to copy the style here and paste it here. Paste it here. I want to copy this style too. I'll paste the style here, paste the style here, paste the style here. Same thing for this column. I'll copy this, paste style, paste style, paste style. Now I forgot one thing. I want for this, all of this to flush inside. So I'm going to turn off the padding. And this, I'm going to turn off padding. I'm also going to turn off the padding here. And I will turn off the padding here too. I'll also turn off the padding here. So this one did not centralize. I think these names and this text, these ones here, they are too spaced out. If there is a way for me to reduce the spacing between them, I'll copy that, paste style, paste style, paste style. These names still too big. So 25, good. I'll copy this, paste the style here, paste style, and paste style. So this is this. I can now change the pictures for each of these. I'm going to change this one to this. I'll change. So I'm going to edit this. I'm going to copy this. And then I'm going to paste it on this contact page. So this is this. But I also want to add something like a Google Maps. So I'm going to look for a map. Google Map. And you can put your map location here. For this, I'm just going to leave this one the way it is. But you can feel free to add your Google Map location there. I can give this one a top margin of, let's say, 30 or 330. Oh, why not? Let me just say 100. No, that's too much. I'll make this 50. And this is this. Let me preview this. So this is our contact page. This is our contact page. We can change the picture here since this picture was used somewhere else. Come to style. I'll come to backend of my website. I want to look for another image. I'll use this one. So this one, I'm going to insert it. That is that. And I'm going to publish this. The only other thing which is missing is our footer. Now, personally, as a developer, my modern projects, I don't bother too much about the footer. So when we do the footer, we check the mobile layout to see how it is. So for the footer, let's come to Elementor. And for the footer, we want to go to Elementor and look for a plugin, add new. And we want to look for, just search here for Elementor. And this is the plugin we want to install, Elementor Header Footer Builder. Activate. Okay. So if I come to settings, I want to add new. And I'll skip this. And I'll say footer. I want to create a footer. And then type of template, footer. Display on entire website. User roles, all. So here I'll still just add for another, display condition. Even though all entire website is supposed to carry all of these, but sometimes there are glitches or pages. So I'll publish this. And I want to edit this with Elementor. So it's loading. Here, I'll add this flex box. And I'll also add that container. I'll add the container inside here. And I'll just put contact information. I'll add a heading first. And see contact information. And then I want to copy some other text. And then I want to add it inside here. For the email, now let me remove this. I want to remove all emails, all links rather. Email, I'll see support at cut.com. So I'm going to make this white. And then the text, I'm going to leave it the way it is. This heading, I'm going to do this, make it white. So this is supposed to be inside this container, actually under the footer. It's not supposed to be a container on its own. I want to make this section to be a direction horizontal, so that I can now duplicate this and then duplicate this. Now for this, you could add any number of links here. If I come here and look for list, I could delete this one. And then for this, the editing, I could remove this here and put some pages here, services, and then link it to our services page. I'll remove this and say about us. And then here, I'll link contact. Now, so I need to come to my pages. This is our contact page. I'll copy this and link it here. This is the URL. Yes, I can use some icons here actually. I'll look for phone. I'll add it there. For about us, I'll look for any widget. I can use this checkbox. That's any icon. Services. I can use anyone. I don't want to be labeled, spend too much time here. Services. Which one can I use? I'll use this one. So that is that. I want to make this. I want to copy the style. And I'll come to style here. The icons. I want to put that. Then for the text, the color, I want it to be white. And for this list, I want it to be spaced out, kind of. Then here, we can see social, connect with us. I think all of these headers here are too big. I will just say contact. I will copy this, paste style, paste style here. And here, I'm going to add some social media links. What I can do is that I'll come to about, this about page. Just copy this here. And then I'm going to paste it here. I can delete this. I can also reduce the line height of this. I'll click come to style. So I'm going to leave it this way. And I'll align these ones to this side. Then I want to give, this consent bar down here for copyright. And I'll add this section. I'll just add some text. First things first, I want to use this color. It should be this color. So for the icon, we have this. I will copy this. I'll come back here. Where were we? I keep missing my steps. I want this to be full width. Then I want to give this background color, background type of color. And I want to add some text beneath here. Or it could be actually a header. And I'll see at 2024. Let me copy this from somewhere and paste it. So I've pasted this. I'll say all rights reserved, created by Donodio Systems. I want to come to style. I want to make this white. I want to align that center and typography. I want it to be, I want to reduce it. I want to reduce the text to be 15. And I want this entire section, I want to give it all around padding of 15. So this is this. And I also want to give this a top padding here. A top padding of, let's see, 100 or maybe 80. And then interestingly, I want to give this a top border, a border top. Come to style, come to border, type, should be solid. But I want to unlock this and I want to give it just a top border, thickness of 2. And then this same color here, I want to use it on the border. Copy. So here now, when I come to border, I want to paste this here. So I'm going to publish this. It's going to give me display conditions. Anyway, we already set the display conditions. So if I check this on the front end, this is our border, but I think I could make that line just reduce of 1 pixel. If I do this now, yes, I think it is fainter. Even these team members, I believe that the borders are too thick and I need to give some padding beneath. So first things first, I'll come to style and the borders, I'll reduce it to 1. And then come to padding, bottom. Let's make this bottom should be 30. So if I copy this and paste style, paste style, paste style. And if I reload this page, so this is what it shows me. Now I'm feeling very confident about what we've done. The final thing we need to do is to check the mobile layout. I'll start with this page. So for this page, about us is okay. Here, I'll reduce this text to maybe 40. This one too, I'll reduce it to 40. And here I want to add a spacer so that it's going to give, it's going to show that image well. So I'm going to add this spacer here. This is the spacer. So this is going to be 300. I think it shows that very well. Here I can change this text to be let's see, 30, or let's just say 40. No, that 40 is too big. I'll make it 35. And this picture here, I'll add a spacer inside too to show it well. I'll make this 340. I'll come back to the back end, and the display size cover. So it shows for these team members, they are good. I publish that. So the about us page is set. The contact us page, let's check this. Yeah, this one is very obvious. I'll click there, come to advanced, remove this padding. The other ones are good. I'll publish. So if I come to home, I want to edit the home page. Of course, here, let me start at the top. This text, very big. Your style, our priority. I want to reduce the line height. I'll reduce the line height to that. And then I want to reduce the padding here. So top padding should be, let's say 50. And then bottom padding, I'm going to leave it the way it is. For these buttons, first of all, I'll click to edit one. And can I first of all connect it to the contact page? I've copied the contact page link. I'll paste it here. And I'm going to come to the buttons. I want to turn off the padding. So I want to start increasing the padding now by myself. So that is that. I'm also going to make the padding for this other button to be 15 all around. So for this learn more, I want it to go to the about us page. Learn more, I'll link it to the about us page. Then I'm going to make the padding to be 15 all around. So you see it comes back up. And for this particular column, I'll hide it. I'll make it to be hidden on portrait and on mobile. So I'll come now here and bottom padding 80, top padding 80. So I also want to give it a left padding of, let's say 20. So it centers everything. And for all of this, we'll leave them the way they are. For this, we can make it smaller on mobile. I'll come to style, size. So that is that. And then for this picture, I'll just put a spacer that is going to open it up. Let's say 300. And I want the picture to be cover on mobile. So display size, cover. That is that. Services, I want it to be 40. And this text here, I'll remove the padding, and for this general section, I want to remove the right padding. I'll make it, let's say 10. Actually, I did it for the entire column. So for top, I'll make it 80. Bottom should be 70. This one, like we did on the other page, I'm going to make it 40. 40 is okay. I'll put a spacer here and make it 300. So this should be 300 or even 350. And then I'll make this picture to be cover and no repeat. For this, I can also reduce the size to be 40. So these are images. I'll leave them the way they are. And if I preview this, let's say I come to home. This is it. The only thing which is out of place in this website is that we have a project speech here. So I'll go to my menu. Dashboard. I'll go to my menu, appearance, menus. And I will remove this, no, not projects, projects, yes. And I'll save menu. So if I reload this page now, and I see something here, take action. I want it to be book now, and it's going to take us to the contact page, or to the contact page. So I'm going to go to customize. I'll go back here and I'll go back. I want to look for header builder. And this is the button. I'll click there. Oh, it's glitching. So I'll say book. And then I'm going to paste that link here. I say book cut. Yes. And for the design of this button, I don't want it to be round. So let's come to design. And where you see border radius, I'm going to unlink that, or I'll just make it 0. So that's the border radius. For the border width, we could give it a border width here of maybe white, but I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'll publish that. If I come back to the website and I reload, so book cut, if I click on book cut, it takes me to the contact page. I could further put some code that will bring me to this particular section, but I don't want to make this tutorial too long. So let's come to the front end, to the home page rather, and we see our website here. We see how it looks. I want to observe for any mistakes. And we hover over any of these. Over any of these. And if we come to the About Us page, we see this. This is what we get. And we come to Services page. It loads slow. This is what we get for services. And Contact Us page. we still have this. So that wraps it up for this edition of our tutorial, how to build a hair salon website. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, give it a thumbs up, and comment. This is how you support me. God bless you. Peace.